Why do I get painful lumps from my injections when I inject? Is it bad gear, or what can I do to prevent that? This is my fucking easy day. I train harder on my fucking easy day than you do on your damn leg days. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, another damn cardio session. We are officially 25 days out from the show now. My coach actually revamped the entire diet, which we'll get into a little later this week. But we're gonna kick this video off with a prep Q&A. Now, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, make sure you go to the first link in the description and hit that follow button. We're almost at 30,000 followers. It would mean the world to me. And I posted a Q&A there and on the YouTube homepage. And for this cardio session, we're just gonna answer kind of the most important questions. And let's get into it. And I'm not gonna answer every single question, so if I didn't answer your question, no disrespect, it's just I didn't feel I had a good enough answer. This channel has always been about personal growth, as well as inspiring others and just giving people a different way to look at things. Nobody's opinion is really right or wrong, and that's the beautiful thing about the fitness world, is everyone is right in their own way because their body works for that. From Harry Vickers, with the alarming amount of young and old bodybuilders that are dropping dead lately, do you ever worry about your health or long-term damage that you're doing with your steroid use? To be honest with you, yes, I do. But when you look at a lot of these bodybuilders that have dropped dead, they are taking quite large dosages. Like when you look at the old Rich Piana and you looked at his mass building cycle versus my mass building cycle, it wasn't even comparable. When you guys look at my contest prep cycles versus other people's contest prep cycles, it's not even comparable. Now, I'm not saying that if I decide to take bodybuilding seriously, that I'm gonna have to go to those levels to achieve what I want. But at the same time, I do think the way that I'm doing things now and the fact that I don't blast and cruise and I come fully off everything for 3 or 4 months, I am doing this in a healthy enough way that I don't have to be worried about an unexpected death. But with that said, nobody knows what the future holds. But with that also said, nobody knows what the future holds for you either. My mom never smoked, never drank, never did anything to harm her health, and was one of the most healthy people I know, and got cancer. Lucky for her, they caught it early, but what if they didn't? She could have died just as unexpected as any other steroid user. It's just kind of what this whole life thing is. What are some of the things that you wish you'd done differently in the past regarding powerlifting and bodybuilding? I do wish that I didn't try to rush everything. When I was growing up in powerlifting, I didn't think that like being strong at an old age was cool. I wanted to squat 800, but I wanted to do it at like 20 years old. So I pushed quite hard to get there. And in retrospect, I should have not done such aggressive training, especially if I was gonna try to make a career out of long-term powerlifting. Your body, in my opinion, can only squat like 800 pounds so many times before it completely gives out. So I wish that I utilized more like cat work, which is like compulsory acceleration training, and like still taught my body how to be strong without actually getting under 700-800 pounds like every single week. Because that is why I ended up hurting my back. That is why I ended up tearing my chest. And when I go through a list of injuries that I got before the age of 21, it's just, I just tried to rush everything way too much. Brett Wilkins says it best. Bodybuilding and powerlifting is a marathon made up of a whole bunch of little sprints. It's not just one massive sprint. What are your thoughts on equipoise, and does it have a place in your current/future preps? EQ, I think, is one of the best drugs that works synergistically with testosterone. Almost every single off season or almost every single contest prep, I start with 500 milligrams of test, 600 milligrams of EQ. Always have, probably always will. For someone that has a difficult time staying disciplined to a diet, what are some tips to be better? That, to be honest, is just why some people succeed and some people don't. It is very, very easy to look like okay and eat like shit, but these people that look phenomenal, it just takes a different type of mentality. There's no tricks to doing this. You do feel like shit every day. You do sit on the couch and think like, man, is all this even worth it? You do always constantly second guess yourself and say, man, like, why am I living like this? But when you start to see the progress in your body changing and you realize that you're one of the top 5% in the world at what you chose to do, that's where you're like, that is why I do what I do. So I would just try to find a different type of motivation or a different type of discipline that will feed that fire more than you want to cheat on your diet. Have you ever thought of using YK11? Yes, I have used YK11 in the past. I honestly use the same one that I sell on my website. Did I really like it that much? Not really. I really think it screws with your joints a lot. I was in an off-season building stage, and YK11 is supposed to be a myostatin inhibitor. So I'm like, oh, I should be able to get like twice as big. But I have never had issues getting big. I always have issues getting like below 8% body fat. So when I added in YK, I feel I just had the side effects from YK, but I never got any bigger than I would have without it. Is your goal to become a pro? And what do you think helped your back the most? So as you guys know, I herniated 2 of my discs. And if you've been watching this channel for like 6 months, there's about 6 months ago, I could not walk. I was getting private healthcare done in the States. I literally could not take a step. I could not drive, I could not sleep. So I revamped my entire TB500, BPC, and growth hormone protocol. And that was honestly the best thing that I could have done. That really reduced the inflammation. Second thing is I had a meeting with the surgeon who actually explained things to me at a science level on why I was feeling the pain. And that helped me kind of like understand how to get out of pain. And 3 is probably just the overall discipline of, even though every single day it didn't seem like my rehab was doing anything, I just kept with it. And eventually I got back to being able to live a decent life. So when I was a teen, my only goal was to be an IFBB pro. I didn't take my first sip of alcohol till 21 years old. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna eat, sleep, breathe. I'm gonna be the next IFBB Mr. Olympia. And there was no one that could tell me anything different. And then I realized and saw how big these guys actually were, and how lean and how perfectly symmetrical. And when I placed 7th in nationals and got my ass handed to me, I was like, man, this just isn't for me. At the same time, I was getting so strong so fast that I knew that I could be one of the top powerlifters in the world. So now going back into bodybuilding and seeing my body, I really do think that if I were to dedicate the next 3 to 4 years to putting on size and perfecting my body, I could be an IFBB pro, but I would never be a great IFBB pro. And there's much more to life to me than being an IFBB pro. So there's nothing saying that I won't continue to compete after these 2 shows. But with that said, if I didn't compete and just focused on business, social media, inspiring others to live their life to the fullest, that would make me just as fulfilled as being an IFBB pro. And hopefully one day I can get back into powerlifting and squat 900 pounds. How tall are you? I'm 5'6", but if I have shoes on, I'm 5'7". And it doesn't matter what shoes I have on, I'm 5'7". Like I could even wear the rider wear shoes that have like that 1/4 of an inch and I hit 5'7". So I'm like right at the top end of 5'6". My weight fluctuates. Like I'm almost stage lean now. I'm like 217 in the off season, or when I'm not like, I guess, dedicated to fitness as much as I am now. I'm about 225, 226. Curious about your blood work. So I do blood work 3 times a year. I don't often do it during a cycle. I actually did do it last week just to see, because I've never done it during a cycle. But guys, like your blood work is going to be off during your cycle. So if you're just gonna do blood work during your cycle and just start stressing yourself out because your numbers are off, I wouldn't do it. The only thing that's really important for blood work, and again, this is my personal opinion, is when you start steroids, making sure that your body is in a perfect position to do so. And then when you come off for 3 or 4 months, making sure that all your levels go back to normal. Obviously your blood work's gonna be kind of fucked up when you're halfway through a contest prep blasting 7 different things. Is the gyno back? So I'll do a separate video on this. This is to be concluded. I honestly don't know if this is gyno or scar tissue. It's not sensitive whatsoever. It's just a hard lump right at the tip of my nipple. But it's almost like where the line cut for the knife. You'll notice if you ever watch me pose really closely that it's not a ball. It's like a little rectangle. So I honestly don't know. But when I go back to Florida, he told me to book an appointment with him, and he says he can see what he can do. Why do I get painful lumps from my injections when I inject? Is it bad gear, or what can I do to prevent that? So yeah, post-injection pain is pretty common. Most of the time, guys, it's an allergic reaction to the type of benzol oil they use to actually mix the steroids. If you change ports and they use a different type of benzol oil, you won't really get a lump or like a hot kind of like inflamed area. But if you don't have the access to change ports, or you can't afford it, or anything like that, there's a few things you can do to monitor that. One, if you mix grapeseed extract in with your shot, it'll take it away completely. If you take a super hot shower right after you inject and massage that area out, it will most of the time take all the pain and all the inflammation away. And number 2, if you buy like a massage gun or anything like that, and every few minutes after your shot, just massage it up. That won't really get rid of the pain, but it'll be so at least you can move your shoulder. All right, so I'm just gonna answer a few more here just because I'm getting tired, and then we're gonna get on with the rest of this video. So what should I stack for my next cycle to put on as much mass as possible? What have you done in the past? Guys, stop thinking that drugs is gonna add whatever you're missing. The way that steroids works is you get better, and then you come off, and then you get better, and then you come off, then you get better, and then you come off, and your genetics do the rest. Stop thinking that you need to add drugs or increase your dosages to get what you want. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of. You don't need to increase your dose. Like, I rarely have gone over 500 milligrams of test. We're 3 weeks out right now, 4 weeks out, and I'm on 350 milligrams of test. Like, I'm on less than everything else. In every off season I've ever done, I've done 500 test nth and usually 600 EQ. That's it. I don't kickstart cycles with orals. I don't add any other stupid shit in. Just stop thinking that drugs is gonna make or break your physique. How often do you practice posing? I don't practice at all. What protocol do you use when you go off T3s? None. When I come off everything after these shows, I just do 15,000 IUs of HCG, I'll do 2 weeks of Novadex at 60 milligrams and 40 milligrams, and 2 weeks of Clomid at 100 milligrams and 75 milligrams, and that's it. MK677 instead of HGH, is it worth it for the less money? So human growth hormone, from my experience, you have to take 2 to 3 IUs to notice really anything, and you have to take it for at least 6 months to a year, if not the rest of your life. MK677, on the other hand, you can take for a short period of time and notice the effects a lot faster. The only thing is you're gonna hold a lot more water retention, and MK677, in my opinion, didn't really help me with my skin or general health. It was just more of like the added recovery and just feeling better. So I mean, you could use it as a replacement, but it's two completely different things, even though at the same time they both increase IGF-1. Do you think you can still grow muscles when you're 10 weeks out and on gear with low calories and cardio? I think that you can grow up until 2 weeks out, especially now that we're doing carb cycling. Bro, I'm still growing into the show. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. What SARM should be used to be lean out or shred? Diet. God damn it. Like sure, if you want to put that, but like again, stop trying to use drugs to get you a specific outcome. Training, diet, recovery will get you that specific outcome. Use SARMs or steroids to enhance that outcome or get there a little bit faster. How's my mental health during prep? As you guys know, my dad had 2 strokes. They took his license, then he got shingles. My mom had cancer, broke up with my girlfriend, had some issues with the car, had some issues with a few other things. But all in all, I do think that if it ain't gonna matter in a week from now, why stress about it, you know? So we only got one life to live, so I'm just trying to stay as positive as possible. And it's pretty hard to get me down, but obviously everyone has good days and bad days. And especially when you're on low calories, doing tons of cardio and training every day, sometimes your mental state does take a hit because you feel you look like shit, even though you don't look like shit. What are some staples in your diet at the moment? High protein. I have 8 to 10 ounces of meat per meal. Especially, we're doing 5 no carb days a week right now. So on those days, I have like 350 grams of protein. How do I go about reverse dieting after the contest? It's pretty simple. Just enjoy myself, but still stay disciplined. I'm not just gonna eat whatever I want and get blackout drunk every night. I'm gonna be like smart about this because I do wanna take fitness a little more seriously this year. Last year I had a lot of fun. Like you guys know, we stayed 6 months in Miami. We were fucking hoeing around, partying, meeting people, drinking like 3-4 times a week. It was a blast. But with that said, this year, I really want to perfect my physique, make $1 million in business, and just also have fun, but kind of like phase it out a bit. So I'm just going to be a lot smarter, but I'm just going to eat for like general health. And when you eat for general health, you're usually not going to pack on too much extra fat. How do you deal with the brutal change on your physique once you end prep? For me, changing my physique isn't hard. I've lost 25 pounds in 1 week, dropping water weight for a powerlifting competition. I've done several shows. I've gone through 2 surgeries now where like I didn't even train for 5 months. So I'm pretty good at manipulating my body, and my body responds really well to stuff really fast. Even not talking about drugs, just diet and training, my body responds to things very quickly. Thoughts on test only cycle, 750 to 1 gram for growth? Like I said, stupid. You want to get the most out of the least possible. Like the fact that you're gonna take double the amount of testosterone as me, unless you're 300 pounds of lean steel and sex appeal, fucking drop your dose. Have you noticed any negative side effects between smoking weed before bed and or microdosing shrooms and tren. No, because you guys know I take such a low dose of microdose, I just haven't really noticed anything other than just straight well-being. And tren, I don't get that many side effects to begin with, other than like a little bit of oily skin here and there. But nothing to that. Weed, I do feel like I hold a little bit more water retention when I wake up after getting like high as a fucking kite before bed. But I'm not gonna smoke weed the 2 weeks before the show, and I'm gonna cut out all artificial flavors and sweeteners just to drop all that extra water. So yeah, so weed, I hold a little bit more water, but that's not that big of a deal right now. That's gonna wrap up the Q&A. I still have about 35 more minutes of cardio to do to complete our hour. And then it's time for breakfast, time to shower, and I'll see you guys for a fucking banger rest of the video. So if you haven't taken 2 seconds to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, it'd mean the world to me. We're going to 100,000 subscribers. And if you guys like these Q&As, I will do another one like right before my show or right after my show, and we can dive in any more depth on things that we didn't really get into. So that said, let's plow this away. Ooh. All right, guys, we are at the one and only Recover RX. Still on that recovery grind, you know what I'm saying? But haven't been doing too much work on my lower back. We've actually been working on bringing a more aesthetic physique. Now you guys can probably tell when I do my back double bicep, it is so hard right now for me to like open up my wings. Now every time I try to open up my back, it seems like something is restricting that. So we've been getting 1 deep tissue massage every single week, and I've been getting dry needling done, chiropractic work twice a week, really just so we can bring the best possible package. Boom. I don't even know if you guys can see this, but we got the Travis Scotts. We got socks tucked into these super baggy sweatpants. We got the Mark Plummer, no pump, no filter, just roids hoodie. We have a huge drop on April 6th. We have shorts, we have shirts, we have more hoodies coming. We have a hashtag natty, a hashtag not natty. The shorts say not natty, and then these hoodies are gonna be coming in black and white, but they are all gonna sell out super, super fast. So April 6th, mark the date in your calendar, because that's just gonna be fucking fire. Pretty much late for my appointment because anytime I film, I just rant and rant. So let's go. We are at the place where it all began, my parents' house, and I get all my packages delivered here because I move around and travel so much. I never know where I'm actually going to be, so it gives me a reason to like come home, kind of see my parents because they're getting old, and visit and pick up my packages, which I know a Gorilla Mind package just came in, so let's see exactly what we got. All right, guys, so basically I got my monthly check in the mail. I just want to thank you guys so much for using my code. You guys don't understand how much it helps when you use my code at checkout. It just means the world to me that you would even think of me while you're checking out if you ever need anything. You guys are literally the reason that I can do what I love every single day. So thank you so much for that. First thing we got is Gorilla Dream. We obviously have just like a regular ZMA in here, but it goes a lot farther than just having zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. Probably the top 2 ingredients in here for sleep would be melatonin and GABA. Melatonin helps you get to sleep. GABA helps you stay asleep. Now, being like 3 weeks out, super calorie depleted and on trend, I'm not saying that this is gonna make you sleep through the night, because it doesn't help me sleep completely through the night, but it does make a difference from not taking it, in my personal opinion. Everyone's sleep is going to be different, but this definitely does help. We do 1 scoop of Gorilla Mode, and then we do 1 scoop of nitric. My favorite flavor right now is Volcano Burst. I used to always preach mango, 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 but Volcano, do not sleep on. And then we just got some lemon lime EAAs just to sip on while we train. Now, I'm not telling you guys that Gorilla Mind is the best company and you only should buy Gorilla Mind. There's so many things that go into these products, guys, like flavor, price point, ingredient list. I can confidently say that Gorilla has clinically dosed products, probably one of the best ones on the market. But with that said, it's all subjective. So if you use Gorilla, just use my code at checkout and it will automatically take 10% off or whatever additional sales are on. They do sales all the time, and just make sure to keep up on the Instagram and on the YouTube community because I post all the sales that they go off of. So I'm just gonna visit with my family a little bit and then we're going home for our pre-workout meal and then off to the gym. So I'll see you at home. All right, so pre-workout time. Guys, so the way that my diet is working right now is I have not had carbs in over 2 days. And when I say like 0 carb, I mean 0. We do no carb, no carb. Then today I have a medium carb day, which is only 100 grams of carbs for the entire day. 50 grams of carbs pre-workout, 50 grams of carbs post-workout. Then we have no carb, no carb, no carb. And then we have 650 grams of carbs on that 7th day. This is my first carb meal in over 2 days. And what I decided to do, we had half a scoop of isolate protein, 120 grams of Greek yogurt, 40 grams of oats, a handful of blueberries, 150 grams of egg whites, and 1 whole egg, topped off with some Walden Farms. And like, first carb in 2 days. Like, I'm feeling like so flat right now that the only thing that's giving me a pump was been like salt. So we're gonna plow this back and then we're headed to the gym to train arms. I got my boy Emmanuel coming and we're just gonna take you guys through my raw arm day, 25 days out. Damn, let's get it. The biggest thing that we're gonna work on today is just keeping constant tension on the tricep. We're gonna try to stay away from just going up and down today. We're gonna do things where we have to like always have a stretch in the tricep, and no matter where you go in the movement, there's always tension. So we're gonna kind of wrap it around, and instead of doing a dumbbell here, we're just gonna do a cable to again keep constant tension, and we're not gonna fully lock out our arm on anything, just to keep constant tension. We're really gonna utilize like pyramiding here. We are not going like 4 sets all out. We're just warming up with 12 easy reps, activate the muscle, then go a little bit heavier for another 12 reps, still activating, then a little bit heavier for 12 reps, then a little bit heavier for 12 reps. I'm gonna stay in that 12 to 15 rep range. I think anything over 15, your forearms and your grip starts giving out. So that like 12 to 15 rep range for biceps and triceps, again, in my opinion, is perfect, especially for being 3 weeks out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 8. Feels good. Feels really good. So we came out to the side for this one. This time we're gonna come dead ass forward. Again, you obviously have 3 parts of your tricep. So we're gonna try to hit all 3 parts. We're not just gonna do all press downs. We're not just gonna do all extensions. We're gonna have a healthy balance without like annihilating the arms. Hey guys, like leading into show, you can probably tell I like to do like more machine and cable work just because it's less things I have to think about. When I'm in the off season, obviously you guys know, like I train mostly with free weights. Rarely I train with machines. But this contest prep or any contest prep I've done, I always train with machines and cables at least like 4 weeks out. Obviously we do some free weights as well, but it just keeps me in that fixed motion where I can just have a better mind-muscle connection. It's a failure. So we did 2 triceps. Now we're gonna go do 2 biceps. Then we're gonna do 1 tricep, 1 bicep. And if we're feeling good still and have like enough glycogen, then we're gonna do a superset. We're gonna do stiff bar with some back grips on it. And we're just gonna try to stretch as much as possible, contract as much as possible. First bicep, and I'm honestly so pumped right now, like I can barely flex my arm, but that ain't an excuse. We're gonna keep going up in weight. Oh man, even on like halfway through that set, I noticed I was letting the weight down a little too fast, which was causing a little bit of a swing at the bottom, which I was using as momentum to get up on the next rep. Don't fucking do that. That's it. This is my fucking easy day. I train harder on my fucking easy day than you do on your damn leg days.
Oh yeah?
6. I'll talk, but I'm gonna sit for it. All the cables have been taken for like 30 minutes. So we did straight barbell, then we're going into single arm biceps. When you guys see me hit a front double, don't get that because I look like shit. I don't have like a peak, a very good peak for the top of my biceps. So because we're gonna do forearms at the end of this workout, we're gonna stay away from all type of hammer strength. We're gonna stay away from all hammer curls, and we're all just gonna focus on supinating our grip and trying to get our pinkies to the fucking moon. Like our life and goals and ambitions and shit. So really supinate those in and really try to emphasize that round bicep peak. And if you can't do that, then just get really good at Photoshop and just start Photoshopping all your progress pics. I don't know what to tell you. There's a solution for everything, but ideally try to grow them first. Then worst case scenario, just keep being a half-baked natty. Get really good lighting, really good Photoshop, no one will know the difference anyways. It's time for a set. Started so strong. I just like 3 exercises in. It's fucking gone, man. But that's kind of expected right now. I'm super excited to see what my pump's gonna look like on like the 600 grams of carbs day. But I know I need to do this to like get those the final little bit for conditioning to bring home this overall. So a good trick is if you put like some salt in your intra-workout shake, helps your muscles contract. And as long as you don't drink your intra-workout shake like in the first 15 minutes and you can sip on it through your entire workout, you should be able to like relatively hold a pump for the entire time. I've perfected what we're doing with my body so much right now to the point that like I don't want to try to add something in to like fuck with anything. Like we're making progress literally by the hour right now. So like why would I start doing something different that'll fuck up all of that? It just doesn't make any sense. And that's where a lot of people go wrong on peak week is like they start using different foods, different drugs, like bro, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're looking good going into the show, just keep that going. Just switched it up there for the last set. Sometimes I'll do single arm, sometimes I'll do alternating. That's the beauty of like just training by feel, man. Just go on what feels good. It's how I've always trained. It's how I will always train. Unless you're powerlifting and you have to hit specific numbers, I really feel like you always have to go off of how you feel. Some days are good, some days are great, some days are not that good. You just gotta adjust to those situations. Tricep. A lot of you guys like to stand like super close to the rope and like kind of like tuck your shoulder blades in and pump down like this. I used to do that all the time too. I've been doing recently that annihilate my triceps even more is I take a step back, I lean forward, and then my body isn't in the way anymore. So I can just push straight down. And even if I go all the way up, my shoulders aren't taking over the movement because I'm bent over. So as long as you keep your shoulder blades tucked back, you'll have constant tension on your triceps. Like you don't need a lot of weight for that. And when you hit that pose, that fucking annihilates your tricep. Guys, only thing you have to worry about this is, I'm gonna demonstrate so you guys cannot fuck this up, is when you have your shoulders down, this is constant movement on the triceps. If you are lifting your shoulder blades up like this, that is when you're gonna start working your rear delts, your traps, everything you don't wanna work while you're doing triceps. Keep those lats and shoulder blades locked in and just move between your elbows. That's it. And if you can't do that, drop the fucking weight. Like I said, I'm a huge believer in lifting with shit form. All these pussies training super light look like shit and are small, but there's a time and a place for everything. My favorite bicep exercise, which is a cable concentration curl. You can do these 2 different ways. I recommend trying both and finding what way works best for you. Number 1 is putting the cable up here and bringing it in like a front double bicep. Love that. Love that for me, love that for you. Second thing is putting it down here and doing it like an actual bicep curl, but because it's a cable and because we're gonna be taking a step this way, you'll always have constant tension on the bicep. And when you take a step out, you'll have an unreal stretch to allow more blood flow, more nutrients into it. Are you seeing this shit? Are you? Or is it just me? Oh, that's it. Got some posing done. I don't know how good it looked, to be honest. Like, I'm feeling really flat, and when I feel flat, I feel like I don't look as lean as I do when I have a lot of carbs. Even when I gave myself a cheat meal like 7 weeks out, 3 weeks ago, I honestly felt leaner after that cheat meal than I did during the depletion. I just feel like I look a little more watery during the depletion, but like, that's the point. Like, we're gonna deplete for the next month and have those like repeat days to kind of like keep the balance, and then probably a 2 or 3 day carb up before the actual show, and I should be looking like, I honestly didn't think I was gonna be this lean for show 1, but that's the name of the game. And last set before our boy Emmanuel has to go. Guys, can you please take 2 fucking seconds, go to the second link in the description and give my man a follow on his personal page and on his filming page. And if you're in Ottawa, hook him up with some filming jobs, and we're gonna put something together to make that shit happen. But we're gonna be doing 1 bicep, superset with a tricep, and we're just gonna go back to back, 30 seconds rest, back to back, 30 seconds rest. We're only gonna film 1 set, but basically we're gonna do skull crushers with dumbbells, and then we're gonna go right into getting a nice stretch on the biceps and really bringing that shit in. So let's get it. This is what I look like bald. Hey everybody. My name is Mark Plummer. I'm the poster boy of steroids. Bad skin, gyno, and bald. No rest. Let's go. Right to failure. So that's basically it, guys. I'm gonna keep the rest time short, do 3 more sets. Then I'm gonna fuck around just with some wrist curls this way, and then I have my second cardio session. So that's gonna wrap up the workout. Let me know how you guys like it. If you guys wanna see anything different, we're banging these fucking videos out like no tomorrow for the next couple months. So if you guys got any cool ideas that you wanna see, drop them in the comments. Other than that, I'll see you at home for the post-workout meal. So we got our post-workout meal of choice here. And like I said, I get 100 grams of carbs today, 50 grams of carbs pre-workout, 50 grams of carbs post-workout. So today I decided to actually have a little bit of pasta. I was gonna cook rice, but then I realized that I have 3 no carb days for the next 3 days, and I would just end up throwing all that rice out anyways. Where pasta, I can cook exactly 60 grams, which is exactly 50 grams of carbs, with 8 ounces of chicken, some zucchini, and some mushrooms. I put a little bit of salsa on that just for some extra flavor. And I'm just dying to get into this right now. So I'm honestly super stoked. I checked over some of the posing. I feel like I'm right on track. My hamstrings, my glutes, my back, honestly could be a little bit sharper. We still have, like I said, 25 more days. So with that said, I do think they're going to come a lot in with this carb cycling that we're now on. But just to go over like one thing that I've seen in a lot of the comments in past videos, you're like, yo, you look like you're 3 months out, or you look like you're 4 months out, or you're not going to be ready. Bruh, I know people that can do a full fucking contest prep in 6 weeks. Like realistically, like you can do fucking anything. And I'm not even gonna acknowledge these comments right now. I would just like you guys to put your address on each comment so I can send you guys a first place picture signed by myself and just that says, fuck you, I hope you eat your words. And that's really it. So I'm about to plow this food down. That wraps up another fucking video. So I hope you enjoyed. We were just gonna relax, and I'll see you very soon.